The last time I was here, I pointed out about all the roads, the highways that are going to be built.
So the Vice President is briefing residents of Cherokee and a lot of people from the Pomeroon about what the administration is doing. But why the Vice President is here? Because most of these people you see here, sitting here, will be getting jobs as a result of an initiative implemented by the government of Guyana to see part-time jobs created for Guyanese to alleviate hardships faced by a lot of Guyanese. And the jobs would be in state entities across Guyana, and they will entail a number of different, the filling of a number of different vacancies, and also it is just 10 days of work for $40,000 a month.
CT scans, etc., just here on the coast, but 6 others upgrading Amsterdam, Georgetown, Linden, Western Particle, building 4 major diagnostic centers in regions 1, 7, 8, and 9. They are already in the communities, so we can do telemedicine. So a lot of investment and planning for the health sector. On education, we've already started moving. Of the 20,000 scholarships we promised, we've already done 6,000. This year, another 5,000. And we'll get there very, very soon. And so we've been laying out right across the country the infrastructure for the future that will generate jobs. Already in some regions, 3 and 4, there are labor shortages. We can, I can find tomorrow 500 good paying jobs for people in region 4, because the manufacturers, people can't find laborers. And this is like people who make maybe $7,000 a day and they can't find them to work. And so those regions we've had a lot of success in to boost the economy. But we've had less success in the other regions in terms of job creation because they're too far from, the investors don't want to come out from the coast and from around Georgetown. So we decided we had to do something else to try to get investment into region 6 and 5 and 2 and 10 and the hinterland. How do we get jobs going in these areas? So that is why in the budget this year we're going to co-invest with many investors. So here on the Essequibo coast, there are going to be some call centers. Now that we have a fiber optic cable running, you can have high quality bandwidth coming all the way along the coast, so that they're going to set up some call centers. The government will build the factory shells and then it will be operated by the investors. We anticipate over 1,000 jobs will be generated from that alone. And there are many other similar facilities. We want to move a business incubator into Essequibo to help people to start and expand small business. But in the short term, whilst we're doing that, we have to make sure that people find some employment. And that is why we decided that we are going to do about 8 to 10,000 part-time jobs across the country. So when I came here the last time, I said we're going to do 800 in Essequibo because it's 8 to 10,000 for the whole country. So I said 800 in Essequibo. But when I went back, they told me that over 2,500 persons had applied. In fact, you have more than 800 in this one area alone. So I decided that we'll increase it to 2,000 for the Essequibo coast. So you're going to have about 2,000 people with a part-time job now. Now this is not free money. We expect you to work for 10 days a month. The 20 other days in the month, we hope that you can do something else, maybe another job, or alternately that you will be studying. Because I told you about the scholarship program, but any person here who's employed or any person on the coast who wants to study tertiary level or technical level, the government will pay for their scholarship, the online scholarship. This is because we want people to use this as a stepping stone for better paying job and more remunerative employment. And so we're going to be sending back out a team with the Minister of Education and others to go through all, once you settle and you start working, to go through not just the people who are employed here, but all the other young people and others on the coast who want to study, and then we are going to put together the programs. Even for those who have not completed their program, the secondary school program, or not done so well, we have a remedial program that we just launched. So if you complete that short remedial program, you can then get onto a tertiary level training, maybe into a degree program or a technical level training. So we are hoping that many of you will make use of that opportunity too. The opportunity to study further your education, and the government will pay for that also. So I hope also that when you are at this job, that for the period you're working, you understand now you're working for the government for that period. Now, you yourselves, many of you have often complained about when you go to government places, people sometimes treat you, others callously. I hope that when you understand that you're there, whatever you do, whether you're helping out in the school or in the health center or in a government office or wherever else you're placed, that you understand that you're there to serve people, and that this attitude will prevail, that you're there to help people in your communities, etc. That is the purpose of this employment. And so today, I hope that, because many of you still have to register, we'll come back and talk to you a bit more about the future. I want to talk to you about where our country is going. You hear a lot, you read a lot, probably from the newspapers. Many of you are on social media. And too many opinions are formed from disinformation, because people are not discerning, they don't use analytical skills, they believe everything they hear, everything they read. I hope as young people and people who are looking for a bright future, that many of you will try to get the broadest possible opinions, a set of opinions, and then make your own judgment. That's the kind of people we need. I've seen how populism or anecdotal evidence can lead to bad policy making. So for example, a lot of people, the opposition has put a motion in Parliament. They want the government of Guyana to give every Guyanese citizen $4,000 to $5,000 US per year from the oil money. Now, if we do that, that will cost over maybe $4 billion US. Do you know how much we are collecting now per year? So far, 350 million. But we must share out over 4 billion, more than 10 times more than we collect. It sounds good. People like free money, right? Because it sounds good. Everybody's going to get free money. But it's nonsense. You can't do that. That is the same philosophy that destroyed our economy in the past, and our people had to run away. We lived above our means for a short period, and then the debt, they borrowed to sustain that living, so that by 1990, when the PPP got into office the first time, the debt was 9 times the size of the economy, and we were using every cent of revenue to service the debt. We can't do these things. They don't make sense. And if any of you are close, because we have a lot of our people who've come back from Venezuela now, they've come back from Venezuela because of the hardships there. But Venezuela was producing 3 million barrels of oil per day. And look where they are today. Oil money, if you splurge it, you waste it, and you destroy the rest of the economy. With some of the countries that produce the most oil, like Venezuela, Nigeria, etc., even Trinidad and Tobago now, because they didn't utilize the money well in the long run to diversify the economy, to educate people, to ensure that they're healthier. They didn't plan for that future. The countries are destroyed. Now, there's one thing about the People's Progressive Party. You can trace our record in office. We have had a history of achievement. We have had a history of careful thought on economic policies. If you trace at those periods that they've been in government, you will see the 28 years, and at the end of that period where we were, where the Caribbean Council of Churches said we were as poor as Haiti in the end of the 28 years of government. Even before oil and gas, we found oil and gas in 2015. We were at one of the most dynamic economies in this region. And because of careful stewardship and tight fiscal management. And I can assure you that that is precisely what we will do. Because this is very fickle. If you don't manage it carefully, the countries become worse off. Worse off. And that is one thing we're not going to do. Well, our job now is to make sure our people get the best quality education and health care, and that we put in the infrastructure to diversify the economy. So long after the oil and gas goes, we can still sustain our people and have good paying jobs, and people can have a better quality of life. So today, I'm not going to speak much more. Young people are crucial to that future too. I'm not going to speak much more about that, because I expect you to, I expect to meet maybe in another 6 months' time. Once you get going and you settle in, I'll come back and then I'll talk to you a bit more about other things. And now, within a matter of maybe 2-3 months, I'm going to send the team up here to look at the scholarships, many of you who want to study, and in what area and where we need skill types in for the country, not just for Region 2, but for Guyana, so that many of you can fill those gaps. So that's all I'm going to say today, because I want the registration to be completed. It's a huge thing. Every month, as a result of this initiative, we're going to be spending about $80 million more. That's $80 million more spent in the economy of this region. So it will run into over $1 billion just in Region 2 to fund this program that you're on. The 2,000 people will be over $1 billion a year. That's what it will cost. And you multiply the 40,000 by 2,000, then multiply it by 12 months in the year. That's what it would work out to. So it's a big investment in you. I hope that you give your best and that you study too, that you make full use of the other opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vice President. And now, if any one of you, outside of personal issues, if any one of you have any idea or any plan or any question you would like to ask Vice President, please. We have a microphone, and the Vice Chairman will take it around. So, who's the first person?
Yeah, and if you have any personal issue, the last time I came here, a lot of people came, like they swarmed us. So we had Minister Susan Rodriguez, who had a lot of people in charity with housing problems. So we made a note of all of the issues and we've been calling. We set up now a unit at the office of the president to call people. So if you have any personal issue that you wish us to follow up on, anything, my staff is here, so you can give it to any one of them. They're around here. And we just need your name and number, because then we can call you back to find out more about the issue. That is on a personal level. So when for example, on the housing, I said Minister Rodriguez will come back, and she came back and met with people here at Charity and at Anna Regina. So we sent them back, and many of the issues being sorted out. So this is apart from what you are here for. There may be others who may have a personal problem that you want us to look to see if we can help you solve it. So where is Steve? Just make sure that you go there and give him your name and a number, and you'll get a call from us later over the course of the next few weeks. Thank you. But outside of that, you can raise any other issue that you wish. Yes, please. Yes, please.
We don't have a landing or stelling so that the children can come out. They normally come outside of a coca. They have a bridge, yes, but they don't have anything. It's just grass and mud. And the walkway normally be wet in this time.
So the bridge that is there, what you need to fix it?
I need a landing, a stelling.
A stelling.
So the children can come out.
Yeah, but how big is this and how much would this cost? Like, have you had an estimate done?
No.
Oh. But we'll look into this, definitely. So
Yes,
we'll send, Vilma is the regional chairman. So please make sure that you find out how much it will cost and let us know. Okay?
Yes, because there are 4-year-old child.
You don't need to justify it. I understand it fully. We don't want to put them at risk, so they will check it. Okay? Anyone else? This is like an Regina, not many questions. This is good for a politician. Well, if you don't have any questions, don't let me force you. Please go on with your registration and so that you can start working. Okay?